Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 143 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So I was recently listening to Brooke Castillo's episode of her podcast, and she was talking about being bored and how we don't allow ourselves to just be anymore, to just be alone with our thoughts. Now, I don't really call that being bored. I do think that it can be scary, just alone with our own thoughts based on what we know they are. But I always try to apply what I hear if I think something sounds like a good idea, because if you don't, then it's just noise in your head that you never really do anything with. So she talked about listening to your own mind. So actually sitting somewhere and just being okay with doing nothing, or driving in the car and not listening to music or podcast, just sort of listening to your own thoughts. And so I've been doing that lately. And you know, she's brilliant, because that's when you're able to take your own unique thoughts and experiences and knowledge that you've accumulated and create something unique from your life, from your own work. You dig deep and use your own creativity, so you're using your own thoughts instead of listening to someone else's. And I know that listening inspires us just like her podcast did for me. But can we also make time to dwell on our thoughts and how they can be useful? When we give ourselves time to just be and we quiet our mind, it really does allow us to materialize our own brilliance. But it can also help us figure out why we're holding back from our true potential. I mean, we're all brilliant in our own way, and I know you might roll your eyes when I say that, but it really is true, I promise. So often we underestimate or doubt what we're capable of, and doubt kills more dreams than most people think. I have a really good friend who had a party, and at the party I stood talking to my friend's architect that built his house. So our conversation about design was just so fascinating that after the party I decided I really needed to get back in touch with him so we could continue our conversation. I kept thinking I needed to reach out to my friend to ask for his number, but for some reason I didn't. I just kept hesitating. I wasn't doing it, which isn't like me. Now, I know when I do something like that, there's a reason. So when I quieted my mind and I kind of journaled about things, I evaluated why I wasn't sending that message, and I realized that it all came down to doubt. This guy's super busy. He's super talented, and I worried that maybe he wouldn't respond. And so I was just avoiding it because I doubted myself. Once I realized that, I immediately sent that text. And guess what? I don't know if he's going to respond or not, but it doesn't matter, because if we were meant to continue the conversation, we will. But like I said in an earlier episode, you have to take that boat when it's offered to you. No one's going to just knock on your door while you're watching Netflix and hand you an opportunity. Most of the time, opportunity happens when you have the momentum headed in the right direction. Momentum comes from where we're focusing our mind and the actions that we're taking. That's why it is so good for us to allow time and space for us to get those ideas out of our head and into something tangible. It builds momentum. Now, I've started doing that. And this last week, I not listening to anything, not consuming anything, just letting my own thoughts play out. I literally wrote an entire episode just like that. When I shut everything down and listened to what my brain had to say, we all really do have a lot to offer. And when we give ourselves time to figure out what that is, it can be so magical. I love the idea of creating new ideas that can only come from my unique experiences. What are your unique experiences? If we aren't living the life we feel we're meant to live, then what do we need to do to get on that path? I personally think it takes some introspection. And introspection takes quieting the noise we have coming in. It also takes gumption. It takes us being able to say no to the things we want to say no to. And sometimes it takes us saying yes to the things that scare us. It takes getting out of our comfort zone and working past that doubt that everybody has. And no matter what the outcome is, get past that doubt. At least you did your part. And that may be just the momentum you needed. My challenge to you this week is to quiet the noise coming in each day for at least 15 minutes with no radio, no phone, no technology. That could be a car ride. It could be during your morning coffee, after you listen to my podcast, of course. But listen, don't bend to the environment. Don't conform to the crowd. Don't say yes when you mean no. And never let doubt stop you again. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.